The weight of explaining yourself. There comes a moment in life when you notice something quietly painful, not loud, not dramatic, just heavy enough to stay with you. You realize that no matter how carefully you explain yourself, no matter how honest your intentions are, some people will never truly hear you. And at first you try harder, you choose better words, you slow down, you repeat yourself, you start explaining decisions that already cost you sleep. You justify choices that required courage. You defend growth as if it were a mistake. And slowly, without realizing it, your energy begins to drain. Because every explanation takes something from you. You replay conversations in your head late at night. You rewrite messages that were already clear. You imagine better answers for people who were never really listening. And the more you explain, the smaller you start to feel. This is the silent trap. You're not misunderstood because you lack clarity. You're misunderstood because some people only listen when the outcome serves them. And this is where most people get stuck. They believe clarity will save them. They believe the right explanation will finally bring respect. But what they don't realize is that constant explaining is a quiet form of self-betrayal. And the truth is, the strongest people rarely explain themselves. They observe. They notice patterns. They recognize when understanding is no longer the goal. Because some questions are not asked to understand you. They are asked to control you. Some conversations are not invitations. They are tests. And every time you feel the urge to explain yourself again, pause for a moment. Ask yourself this silently. Is this explanation bringing me peace or taking it away? Because not every silence is weakness. Sometimes silence is the moment you stop giving energy to places that were never meant to hold it. The shift. There comes a moment when effort is no longer the problem. You are showing up, you are doing the work, you are staying consistent, and yet nothing moves. This is the phase most people misunderstand. They think the answer is more force, more pressure, more noise. But growth doesn't respond to noise, it responds to alignment. Because when progress stalls, it's rarely because you're weak. It's because you're pushing in the wrong direction. You don't need to become louder. You need to become clearer. Clear about what drains you. Clear about what deserves your energy. Clear about what no longer fits the person you are becoming. This is where discipline changes form. It stops being about effort and becomes about restraint, about saying no without guilt, about walking away without explanation, about protecting your focus like it's non-negotiable. Most people exhaust themselves trying to prove value to places that never planned to recognize it. But the moment you stop chasing validation, your energy returns. Your mind sharpens. Your posture changes. Your decisions slow down and become irreversible. This is not quitting. This is recalibration. And recalibration feels uncomfortable because it removes illusions. But once clarity replaces chaos, movement returns, quietly, inevitably. And here is what almost no one tells you. When things stop moving, it's not always a sign to push harder. Sometimes it's a signal to listen. Because growth is not only about action, it's about timing. And timing is something force cannot control. You can work endlessly, do everything right, and still feel invisible. Not because you lack value, but because you are outgrowing the environment that once rewarded you. This is where many people panic. They start doubting themselves. They change direction too fast. They abandon what could have worked if they had stayed calm a little longer. But real discipline is staying grounded when results are delayed. It's trusting the process even when there is no external confirmation. Silence during this phase is not emptiness, it's compression, like pressure building before release. And those who learn to stay steady here are the ones who move differently when the breakthrough finally arrives. The invisible phase. There is a phase no one prepares you for. Not failure, not success, but the space in between, where effort feels quiet, progress feels delayed, and motivation stops responding to results. This is the phase that filters people, because nothing outside rewards you yet. No applause, no confirmation, no visible movement, only repetition, only patience, only belief without proof. Most people quit here, not because it's hard, but because it feels meaningless. But this phase is not empty, it's formative. This is where habits stop being temporary and start becoming identity, where discipline is no longer emotional, it's automatic. You are not building results here, you are building someone who can handle them. And that's why this phase feels slow, because speed would break what's being shaped. If you can stay calm here, if you can stay consistent without urgency, you don't just move forward, you separate yourself. And this is why the invisible phase feels uncomfortable, because it removes distraction. There is no excitement to hide behind, no momentum to borrow motivation from, no external pressure forcing you to continue. Only choice. Choice to show up again without emotional reward. Choice to repeat the process without reassurance. This is where self-respect is built. Not the loud kind, not the performative kind, the quiet kind that doesn't need witnesses. Every time you stay consistent here, you reinforce a standard. A standard that says, I don't need results to behave like the person I decided to become. And once that standard is set, your actions stop negotiating with doubt. You don't rush, you don't quit, you don't overreact, you simply continue. And continuation over time creates inevitability. It's changing without warning. It's building without announcing progress. When you reach this phase, your urgency disappears. You stop rushing outcomes. You stop chasing recognition. You stop negotiating your standards. And something interesting happens. Your actions become slower but heavier. Each move carries intention. Each choice eliminates distraction. You are no longer trying to be seen. You are positioning yourself to be undeniable. And that is why silence becomes your advantage. Because silence forces people to feel what they can no longer question. You don't need to prove growth. Growth reveals itself through consistency, through calm, through presence. And when results finally appear, they won't look sudden to you. They will feel earned, quietly, fully, irreversibly. And this is the moment most people never reach, because it requires patience without applause. When nothing outside confirms your progress, yet something inside refuses to go back. You no longer argue with doubt, you let it pass. You no longer chase certainty, you build it quietly. This is where identity locks in, not the identity you show online, not the version others expect, but the one that acts even when no one is watching. And once this identity is formed, results are no longer negotiable. They may take time, they may arrive slowly, but they arrive aligned, because you are no longer trying to escape who you were. You are committing to who you decided to become. And commitment, real commitment, changes everything. Not loudly, not instantly, but permanently.